Hey guys, welcome back to the POA Farmer. Today I don't have a crazy long video for you. I know some of mine can be a little long. I'm working on it. But I did want to take a second to talk to you about something that I'm doing to help with my soil and to just give me a little bit of a, well, I want it to be pretty in the garden. And I think that if we can find plants that do good things for the soil, help out my other plants, help out the pollinators, and strike joy in your heart, I'm all for it. That brings me to sunflowers. Now, something that people don't always talk about when it comes to these pretty little things. Yes, they're fun to eat at baseball games. Everybody likes them as a snack. I probably shouldn't say everybody. Maybe not everybody does. But they're also known to pull bad things from the soil. Now, I've been talking about some of the things we're seeing in our modern agriculture. I've hinted towards some issues with compost and just struggles we see. You know that most of my garden beds that I'm building this year are brand new, which means their soil's new. And, you know, one thing we talk about in the gardening world is that soil takes a little bit, and the more you amend your soil, the more you put into it, the more work and good nutrients that go into the soil and into your beds, well, the better the next year's harvest is going to be. So I talk about long game vision. This is kind of one of those things. When it comes to trying to pull out bad things from the soil, I'm looking towards what kind of plants I can go ahead and start this year. They may help with this season. It might be mostly for next season. But at the same time, it'll give me something a little pretty to look at. Which brings me to my sunflowers. Now, this is where I'm doing something that might make some people a little crazy. But those of you who are getting used to me, you know that I do what I want. And not always to the advisement of those who know better. Sunflowers. A few years back, I decided I wanted a ton of sunflowers in my old backyard. So I bought this large little container that had a pretty good amount of sunflowers in it. Now, my germination hasn't been amazing. Truth be told, they could probably use a little bit of extra help. You notice they kind of look like the ones you'd eat at a baseball game. They don't have anything that says, hey, these are a little bit different. Oops, as I'm dropping them. Now, when I'm looking at the actual container, I'm trying to see if there's any that really kind of stand out. Does it say anything about what brand it is, if it's a particular type of sunflower? I got nothing. Literally does not say anything on the container besides sunflower. But that's where I decided to add a few different types in this year that I haven't done in the past. Some of the sunflowers in the stack are a little bit more specialty. They're fancy, they were a little bit more expensive, and I don't think any sunflower should truly be looked at as a throwaway. But this giant container, the germination is probably starting to go a little bit less because I've had them for so long, and I've learned a lot about storage when it comes to seeds, and I'm doing a little bit better. This packet was one that, like many of my others, I just kind of got a giant group. I have never even heard of this kind of sunflower. I have an In My Gardener Autumn Beauty. It's absolutely gorgeous. Baker's Creek, another Autumn Beauty. But look at the little bit of difference there. I'll be really interested to see if they turn out much different than the other. Chocolate Cherry. Evening Sun, also Baker Creek. That one's so pretty too. I'm so excited. Ice Cream. Now I did try growing a few of these early just to see how they do. And then Mexican Sunflower, the Red Torch. Now, all of these are a little different. I'm going to basically put this entire container out there in my yard, but I also want to put some of these. Now, because I'm taking the whole container, I'm going to do something a little controversial. Remember when I said I was doing something a little crazy? Giant container. Introducing a mix. I am quite literally, I'm not going to do it with all of my seeds, but this group of sunflowers, I'm only going to leave a little for me, because even though I tried so hard to grow some of these before the season, yes, I know, my own mistake, most did not do so great. Surprise, surprise. Notice the difference in these seeds? They look more like marigolds. Truly, they do. But, it's a type of sunflower. So guess what? Going in the container. Again, I'm leaving seeds in the packet. Nobody panic and come for my blood. I see someone coming out and being like, excuse you, Kristen, what were you thinking? I was thinking I was going to be a little creative this year. The difference in the ice cream. These are tiny seeds. Look at that. Look how little those are compared to the others. Goodbye. Alright, my evening sun. I haven't actually opened this one yet. I'm excited to see what the seeds look like. Oh, they're going to be tiny. Not as tiny as I expected. Small, for sure. But not that bad. Bloop. Thankfully, my seed companies that I purchase from are generous with their seeds. And there's still plenty in the container. Or in the packet. Alright. Remember my chocolate sunflower? Look at how dark and rich those seeds look. That is so cool. And my two different autumn beauties. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am tempted, and I probably will, do a container with known sunflower types. Mostly because I want to see the difference when I know for sure what I'm planting. And for my M.I. Gardener, my final friend, the perk of having the garden space that I've created is that I can be a little bit more adventurous. Alright. As you can see, pretty good group in there. They're all kind of mixed in. This entire container, every single seed is going out in my yard to some capacity. That's a lot of them, but that's okay. Okay, again, I'm being a little crazy with it, but I have a ton of growing space, and it doesn't have to be in a bed. Now, most of what I'm doing will absolutely be in a bed, but I have so many sunflower seeds that I plan on actually just kind of putting them everywhere. I want them in the front yard, I want them in the backyard, I want them in the beds, I want them all over the place because I love them. And the thing with sunflowers, if you give them lots of space, they tend to get bigger. The giant mammoth ones you see, yes, some of it is because that's the type of sunflower in the seed, but it also has a lot to do with the space they're given. So some of these sunflowers, if they're sown heavily and they're not given a ton of space, they won't get very big. But the others, they should get gorgeous and nice and just fun. So come along, enjoying the journey. I'll show you how it looks as I put them up, but I hope you enjoy. Y'all take care now. Bye.